Welcome to Donna's World. Thank God it's Friday. And I really mean that today. Thank God it's Friday. This has been one of the most chaotic, exhausting, disorganized weeks of my life. And I'm amazed that I'm still standing. I don't even normally dress like this for my Friday videos. I normally at least try a bit of jewelry, a little bit of makeup, a nice kaftan or blouse. But I'm afraid you'll have to take me as I am because I just had to quickly do something. Let's just move on to the first topic that comes to my mind is about spiritual and religious issues. Now, it's something I would normally address on a Wednesday, but just decided to talk about it today because that's what's on my mind at this moment. So, one of the things that contributes to spiritual well-being is religion. Now, not all of you are religious, I'm sure. My son is an atheist, and I don't look down on him because he does not believe in God. I can understand people who don't believe in God or who are not sure that God exists. But I personally believe in God. I'm a Catholic, and I have mentioned a couple of times on this channel that I'm going to see whether I can become a better Catholic or Christian and derive, real benefits from appealing to my Maker to help me along this journey. Because frankly, I haven't done very well on my own. I mean, I've got a personal trainer, I've got a fasting coach, I belong to a Facebook group for people who are into weight loss through fasting. And, I have friends and siblings and various support mechanisms and individuals who are there to help me get through life's darker moments and more difficult challenges. But at the end of the day, it still boils down to me. If my fasting coach tells me 1,000 great, sensible things, I don't have to listen to her. I can still decide to mess my life up. If my personal coach, my trainer, comes round and I refuse to exercise, he can't force me. So there are times when you probably need intervention that's far stronger than what other human beings can give you. And this is where religion comes in for those of us who believe in God. So I'm not, shall we say, diligent enough to wake up every morning and go to Mass like some of my relatives do. To be honest with you, I don't think I can even make it every single Sunday. It doesn't fit in with my life. I mean, like next Sunday in the morning I'll be on a plane. Now, I could have booked the plane flight to take place later on in the day so that I could go to church first before going to the airport. But it wasn't convenient, and I think I'll probably always be the sort of person who will put convenience first. But you know what? It doesn't stop me from kneeling down and saying a few prayers on a Sunday. And that's what I've been trying to do these past few days. I've been, even at times when I haven't been able to make it to a church, I've been praying, singing hymns, and giving a few moments every day to religious observance. And I think that for me and for many other people, that intervention from the the deity we believe is our Maker can make all the difference, because if you say, okay, well, I really need help to move forward, I need to start being more sensible, I need to stop being so self-sabotaging, there is a place from which you can get such strength. If you believe. So, okay, I believe. And I do find that it's helping me to look beyond myself and beyond my fellow human beings for support or crutches, if you like. I mean, Karl Marx said that religion was the opium of the people. And I can see why he said that. Opium is a drug, and religion numbs pain and causes people who have issues to feel less traumatized. And so I'm sure Marx didn't mean it in a good way, but I think it's not a bad thing for religion to be a kind of drug or opium in this world which can be so difficult. I mean, I've been through so many traumas, we all have, with the exception of a few very lucky people. I mean, do you know, I was thinking about it the other day. I've been through so much. There was a civil war when I was a child in Nigeria. We escaped by the skin of our teeth and wound up in the UK, having flown out of Nigeria in the middle of this terrible war. And I remember so many things. I remember dead bodies. I remember being evacuated. I remember policemen being shot in front of me because they were trying to escape with the women and children from Port Harcourt, which was my hometown, which was being invaded by the Nigerian troops, because that was a civil war. So my family was on the side of the rebels. I mean, we're all now one big country, but there was a time when there was this terrible schism. I've been through kidnapping. A very close family friend was executed after he and I fell out. So I remember him often. I got divorced, I got kidnapped. You know, lots of things have happened to me that have made me a bit of a nervous wreck, and definitely accounts for the fact that I need healing and have taken comfort in overeating, overdrinking, smoking heavily. And so someone like me, I mean, I'm a prime candidate for religious support because I've not been very good at sorting things out for myself. Anyway, I do find that I gain some relief, some solace. And I think even if you're not religious, well, I won't advise people who are not religious because I don't know what it's like to not believe in God. But all I will say is that I hope the people who are not religious have something they can turn to when they're feeling so down and so weak and so frail that they're not capable of dragging themselves up. I don't know if religion will help me get to exactly where I want to be. Maybe it will help me get to where God thinks I should be. But all I know is that it's helped me in the past few days to go from being completely down to being in a better place. Yeah? And I'm going to now read a poem called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read this at a conference recently and it went down very well because it's about the dash between your date of birth and your date of death. So if you say someone was born in 1965 and the person died in 1980, it's 1965 to 1980 with a dash in between. So this poem is about the dash. It's about the life between those two critical dates in anybody's existence. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears, but he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? for you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? So I think what I love about that poem is that it's relevant to people of all religions or to people who have no religion. And it is about it's basically a very spiritual poem about how we prioritize things, the things that really matter in life, and about being the best person you can be. And I'm going to leave you on that note this week. Thank you. Okay, so here as usual is a small selection of responses to last Friday's videos from some of my regular viewers. And there's one from Jupsi, that's a Nigerian name, and she thanks me for all the encouragement she gets from the channel and says she's impressed by my humble acceptance and my vulnerability. And she says, where there's life, there's hope. Continue to keep hope alive, and you will surely get there eventually. Never mind how long or slow the process is. Congrats on the new job, because I told you last week that I had a new project I was working on that made me very happy. You're not going to believe this, but that project has actually fallen through. So that's one of the reasons this week has been so insane. I don't know if it can be revived, but for now, I'm feeling a bit, down because my dream project doesn't seem to be going through. I suppose I celebrated too soon. And that's actually the story of my life, especially with work. Constant disappointment. You think, oh yay, something good has happened. And the next minute someone sort of dumps on you or pushes you aside. But I'm trying not to have a mental breakdown or nervous breakdown because of it, but I am disappointed. Okay? So Dube also talks about Philippians 4, chapter 4, verse 8. I will look into that another time because I've not had time to do that this week. But I'm sure there's some sort of deeply meaningful message in there for me and lots of the world. Then there's Rose, who says that after getting help with mental health issues, she learned that she did not love herself truthfully. And then she talks about Pretty, the girl who worked in my house, who left last weekend. She says Pretty is indeed pretty, and she wishes Pretty the best of luck in her future endeavors. And she says, I look nice last Friday as well. When I don't look nice today, I know. And she says, I've done a lot of good so far, so I shouldn't stop. So I'm glad, Rose, that you see something positive. Because sometimes I think these Friday videos, well, all the videos are too long and rambling, but some people seem to find them palatable, interesting, even reassuring and meaningful. Okay, so then Lorna, one of my regulars, she says, Donu. In Nigeria, we say, when you call somebody's name 3 times, maybe your mother or your grandmother or somebody says it, what they say is, how many times did I call your name? It's a way of invoking a spirit of rebuke. And I think Lorna is kind of doing that, but in a nice way. She says you're an intelligent, articulate, strong, capable woman. She enjoys my videos, and we've all made mistakes. And as we get older, we can't recover those years. Talk about clinical depression. Go for it. And don't allow Pretty to leave without doing some cooking. And she says, I'm welcome to visit her anytime down in Andalusia, which is in Spain. Actually, you know what? Some of my best friends in Nigeria, in Abuja specifically, are Spanish, the Cabrera family. They are from Bilbao. And their daughter, Gabriela, is my goddaughter, and she's getting married. Well, the sort of like civil ceremony is in December, just before Christmas, but the big white wedding is in Bilbao. And if I'm still alive next summer, I will come and see you, Lorna. I have to look at the map to see if Bilbao and Andalusia are easily reachable. You know, if I can reach you one from the other fairly easily. But I'd love to meet you. Then she says she likes the longer wig. I think I do too. But this one's a little easier. It's lighter and it's cooler in this heat. Not to have hair on your neck, you know. But I agree, the longer one is more stylish, more elegant, which she says goes with my personality. So I'm very flattered by that comment. And then finally, because we can't include everybody, I'm just doing 3 or 4 this week. And this one is from Inspired Sassy 2330. And she says, you look fabulous, believe it, I never lie. And she says, you know the things you can do, but the first thing is to cry when awake, otherwise you are damn ready to break. Because I said that I'm so emotionally repressed that I can't cry when I'm awake. I can only cry when I'm asleep. I'm not even aware I'm crying. I only know I have cried when I wake up with my face wet with tears. So she says she's been there herself, and she says between PTSD and grief repressed, you are probably like a bomb ready to go off. Oh yes, I really am. You know, in fact, I've just written a really, really angry letter to these work people who have disappointed me. I'm so angry with these people. I'm glad they're not in the same building or room that I'm in, but I would probably smack them. You know, just, and then I'd be sued for assault, and then, you know, hey, there's a good side to everything, because if I was jailed for assault, then I'd be in prison and the food would be so awful I wouldn't be able to eat and I'd lose tons of weight. On a more serious note, she says, I really need to let out the rage and the pain about what was done to me on an inanimate object, not on a person, and verbally, and let it out. You have built up a wall of self-control and repressed for too long. Go to where you can have privacy and let loose until you are either exhausted or just annoyed. Let the small stuff go. Focus on the positives each day. Sing to music or dance to express your emotions. She says she will be 65 on October the 16th, which I think has just passed. And she related so much to what I've been through, and wish she could come here and use her mental healing training to pull me through to the other side of this. That would be nice. There's not a lot of good mental health therapists here, you know. Funny enough, Nigerians tend, I mean, I don't want to generalize because there are exceptions to every rule, but Nigerians tend to rely on religion rather than therapy. Anyway, she says she's been there, done that, and has a t-shirt I have much to be grateful for. That is true. As they say, the glass is not just half empty, it's also half full. And we've just had a power cut, by the way. That's another thing I have to put up with in Nigeria. Constant power cuts. But I will try. So don't be surprised if the light fluctuates. That's just what we live with here. And she says I should prepare my mind and body for the blessings coming. Love and hugs, Anne, from Anne, and love and hugs from me to Anne. And that's all for this week. Thank you very much.